Hey gang! We're back for another episode of Tattooing for Beginners. Now in the last episode, I shared a quick tip with you on how to mix black ink if you run out when you're deep in the bowels of a sick tat sesh. But today, we're gonna get a little more in-depth and we're gonna mix some colors. We're gonna be mixing our own vegan tattoo ink. Now personally, I can sleep better at night knowing that I'm using vegan tattoo ink, and my customers also really appreciate it. Some of them even request it specifically.
Is it vegan?
What, the ink?
Yeah. Is it f***ing vegan?
You may be asking yourself right now, what is it that makes tattoo ink vegan? It's cute, really, it is. I'm gonna tell you. First, we're going to take a tomato. This is how I learned how to cut. The first thing that you want to add into your blender will be your organic tomatoes, chopped. Take your distilled water and witch hazel mixture and fill the blender about halfway. Now, this is our soy milk, freshly squoze. We're going to put a little, just a little pinch in there. Put it on a low setting at first, just to get it started. That is looking good. Sometimes if you get the stems of the tomatoes, they get really chunked up in there and they get a little clogged in the blender. So you want to make sure that those are not settling to the bottom and obstructing the blade. After about the first 5 minutes, it starts to get a little warm, so you want to let that cool right off. While this is cooling, I want to point out how amazing that this shade of red is. It's really a beautiful color. So a lot of times if the tattoo I'm doing is maybe an animal head with a dagger sticking through it, and it's kind of ironic that this is vegan ink. One trick to keeping this color very bright and rich in the skin is to add some chopped lemongrass. Jesus. Now I'll add our last secret ingredient to the red ink. One thing I add to all my colors is a slice of organic lemon. It's actually a natural antiseptic and it helps to preserve all the ingredients in your ink. Now I use avocados for my green ink. Look at that beautiful natural color that you get in an avocado. It's got dark to light shades and that really translates well. If you leave the pit in your avocado, when you're mixing the ink, it will not blend all the way and it'll get jammed up in your tube while you're tattooing and it really messes with your ink flow. I've made that mistake one too many times and let me tell you, I will not make it again. What you end up with is this beautiful green ink. And that's all just from mixing. I've done this so many times, I promise. It's just, sometimes it gets stuck and, you know, even me, even an expert gets hung up sometimes, not really mixing. So don't get discouraged if your blender gets a little backed up. Oh, fuck. Come on. Yeah, so if you want to give it a shot at home, you can try that out, and happy inking, everyone. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Thank you.